Well, welcome back to the next part of our video. As you can see in the background, looks the same, maybe, possibly. Anyway, let's dive into today's episode where we do a whole bunch of cussing because stuff don't go right. Maybe. Sounds good. I think we've decided to just race this thing without the body. You didn't know, we're going to the Gateway Dirt Nationals. So, send it. What's playing tonight? Welcome back to the shop, guys. We made it back home with Chuckie, and we're now scrambling to get this thing put together. We got about a month to get it done before the Gateway Dirt Nationals drop December 14th through the 16th. So we got the engine dropped in it. We got a few things buttoned up, but what we need to do today is get this whole rear end completely pulled apart, new components put back on it, and get it back in the car so we can get one step closer to getting this thing, ripping it around the dome. Must not be that bad of a job. You ain't got the big hammer.
That's just going forward and backwards here.
I see. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull these bird cages off, and we're going to replace them with a brand new set of bird cages from Wehrs Machine. He made a custom set specifically for the Gen 4 Impressives for Donnie, and I got my hands on some and got a hold of Chad. He sent some out to us, so we're going to get that baby pulled off here. These bird cages here will be for sale, if not sold already. And we're going to get the Wehrs ones on there. We like to, promote companies that help us. And Chad has always been a giant supporter of the channel. Plus, in my opinion, he's got the best parts out there. All right, guys, so what we got here is a neat little rig from JR1 Motorsports. This holds your bearings and stuff for your rear end. You see B's got that slid off. And it'll hold your front rear bearings. Got a bearing spacer on there, your cap for your rear end, the plate, the bolts for it. So you can find that at JR1 Motorsports. Same guys that make our the rivet kits, the bolt kits. Heck, they got all kinds of good stuff. And we just wanted to showcase a real new product. We'll show you the front one when we get it on there. I'll show you now a little bit. Got a front one too, where you put all your stuff on there. Pretty neat. Just kind of keeps it up off the floor and keeps the dirt and stuff out of it whenever you're servicing this stuff. So check them out. All right, guys, so we're taking the bird cages off here, and greasing these in the beginning made it super easy just to slide all this stuff off. You see we just slid that off like nothing. I'll show you a little bit more about that in the video on how we make that up. But anyway, got them off, no problem. Okay, guys, here's what we got from Wehrs Machine. This is a custom set of bird cages for the Impressive race car. This is a double shear set. They make all different kinds of bird cages, so you can get anything you need straight from Chad. And they offer tons of really awesome race car parts. So, made in the USA. We're proud to have them as a part of the team for a long time. Let's get these things put on the car, because I think they're going to be a pretty neat piece. Some billet trickery. Oh yeah, I wanted to do that too.
Go ahead, do it.
And that, folks, is why we grease the axles when we put them on. Nice and easy. On to the next one. Hammer down?
Hammer down.
Hammer down. Got the Wehrs Machine bird cages bolted on this baby. Got a few different trick things we done to it, and it's ready to slide in. So we're going to do the right thing. Since this car is on dollies, on the caster wheels, we're just going to slide the car over to the rear end. Hopefully, and don't tear a bunch of crap up. So keep your fingers crossed. Say a prayer for us. See if we can get her done. like that? Wow, that was pretty easy. Rear end is bolted in. It's pretty close anyway. Huh? Kind of. Oh, why don't you take a look at these stainless headers we got. Got with our buddy Daryl Dickerson over at Double D Motorsports, and he just happened to have a set because if you remember the last video, he had died. So, never had a stainless set before, but I think these are BA, they call them. BA, however you say it. I believe it's BA, but a little too fancy for me, but we'll run with it. I do got to get, they went on this side, but I had to get a different piece so it would clear. And I could actually, if you look at that, I could actually go a little bit more because it's dang near touching the frame down there. So, yeah, BA. I'll get with them and see if I can get a custom piece shoved out there a little bit. But it's starting to kind of look like a car. Yep, she's all bolted in, got all that fancy stuff on it. Shocks, pull bar, everything. We even opted to go on the right side, do a custom set of right side shocks for the dome. So we're slowly getting there. There's a couple parts we got on order. We're a little held up on, so I guess we can maybe move our way to maybe the front of the car or maybe even some body work. Hey guys, I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. I hope you have a great holiday, get to spend it with family and really enjoy it. And as we're getting ready for this Gateway Dome Nationals race, you can see behind me we got the car. We're really thrashing to get everything done and to get it done correctly. And at the same time, we're trying to take our time and spend a little bit of time with family around the holidays. So happy holidays to each and every one of you guys. Have a good Thanksgiving. Eat plenty of that turkey and take plenty of naps. Well, here we are back. Getting the car put back together. I said we're going to do body work, but I lied a little bit. We're down here jacking with the spindle on the right front, left front. It's opposite day, obviously. I'm struggling here, but we're going to get through it. And looks like I see the smoke rolling. What you got?
Reading.
He's reading.
Ciphering this out.
Ciphering. Got to do some ciphering. While he's ciphering, what he's got here is a DRP bearing spacer installation tool. So if you use these bearing spacers, like we do, and if you've ever done this, you put this thing, it goes in your hub over there. It's between the front and the rear bearing. And you take it on and off about 14,712 times. Back and forth until you get the exact spacing you want with no drag but no slop in it. So what this tool does is it allows you to, there's your fixture. You see what we got going on here. And they got like a little depth gauge there. It allows you to set the perfect depth on your bearing spacer without having to take the hub on and off, on and off. And if you got a bearing that's a little tight, it's a pain in the freaking butt, man. Well, I didn't go buy this or nothing. My buddy Corey Gordon, there's his car right there. Now, he sent this to us quite a while back. But he accidentally bought this. I think he bought it and he thought it was for metric hubs. And it wasn't. It was for, yeah, metric, and this is for hybrid. So let's read this. It says, Dear Tim, hope all is well with the old number 7 crew and a family. We all goof up and buy the wrong stuff sometimes, and I'm glad you will be able to benefit from my goof up. Hope it helps you speed. Man, you might want to read this. I don't think I can read very good today. Whew. Let's see, where was I at? Hope it helps you speed up checking your wheel bearing spacers. From all of us at the Gordon Racing team, we wish you the best of luck on your upcoming season, which is almost over. Sorry again. And I hope to see you at the Dome again this year. We already know we're going to see him there. And at this point in time, Chase actually had broke his collarbone, and he was working on healing up so he can get back to racing. So he's wishing Chase well. And Kimbo just moved to her new location at On Point, and he's wishing us the best at the new location. So big shout out to Corey Gordon and the whole crew over at Gordon Racing for helping us out and getting us that bearing spacer. Hey, say what?
And thanks for the shirts.
Oh yeah, and thanks for the shirts. We've all been sporting them.
Oh yeah.
And we'll see you guys at the Dome. And in the meantime, we're going to figure out how this all works. Get our hubs all put together. And you see why we were replacing this one. Had a little chunk out of it. So we're actually going to wind up putting a new one on there. And move forward. We're making progress. You got your ciphering juice? Yep. So what we're doing is we're setting this new hub on here. On that fixture. There it is. It's on there. New bearing. Then what?
Place the digital indicator on top of the outer bearing. Rotate the hub while keeping pressure on the indicator base. Push the ruler down until it makes contact with the manual. Once it makes contact, zero the indicator.
Okay. Push it down. Push this down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, zero it. Okay.
Move the outer bearing and hub while leaving the inner bearing on the manual.
Move the outer bearing and hub while leaving the inner bearing on the manual.
Now place the spacer.
Place the spacer
on top of the inner bearing.
On the inner bearing.
Followed by the outer bearing.
Followed by the outer bearing. Now, do that and see if this is zero.
Place the indicator on top of the outer bearing and press down on the ruler to ensure the indicator is making contact with the face. Adjust the spacer until the indicator reads zero.
Okay. What's it say?
Zero.
Really? Now what's it say?
16.
So, now we got to jack with that. You can see, see how that all works?
Pretty nice.
So that's way nicer. So that tells us right there it's 16. Well, that's just millimeters right now. We can go in inches, but doesn't really matter. 0, 0.
0, 0.
So 0.16 millimeters. And we're trying to get that to say 0 because we set our benchmark at 0 here. So once you get that 0, you can tighten this fully. You'll have a little bit of grease drag, I'm sure, but you'll be at 0. That's freaking neat. Okay. And in order to do that, that's real easy. It's got an Allen in there. You bust that loose and you turn this. Here's your machine. Way nice upside down there, buddy.
You use it all, not me. 51, 52.
I went the wrong way? Mm-hmm. Dang. It's like plugging in a USB. 50-50 shot, and I guarantee I get it wrong every time.
Negative 23.
Oh, man, I went too far.
Yep.
Dang, yeah, we were pretty close. If I was within 16 by hand and feel, it's pretty good.
Probably switched over inches, it wouldn't be much.
Yeah, I'm not a millimeter guy.
No, I don't know what that is.
Millimeter? It's not an inch. It's a millionth of a meter.
13.
Gall, I ain't about where we started.
Negative 13.
Oh, okay, so keep going this way. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm
That ain't
turning it
much.
like a 16th. I turned it pretty good.
Four.
Can we say that's good enough?
That's probably good.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not an inch guy. Here, I'll give you one more time. I'm not an inch guy. I'm not a millimeter guy.
Well, if you switch it to inches.
0.001.
Yeah.
So 1/10,000th?
Yeah, I think you're good.
Okay, here. I just turned it 1/10.
No.
1/10. Ah, now we're out of
Now you
spec.
screwed it all up.
We're out of spec. That was a 1/10,000th turn. Then I dropped it and lost 3/10,000ths.
Now you went one too much the other way.
It says 2.
Well, I know which went the other way.
I'm leaving that alone. I'm calling that good.
That's
boys.
close enough.
That's actually on the big side, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's to factor in the grease.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's all there is to it. Now we can assemble this whole thing. We're going to grease our bearings, of course.
Way better.
Way easier. So thanks, Corey. I mean, that's neater than heck. Check that out. It's a DRP. Let me see that thing there. Not sponsored by him or anything, but a cool tool is a cool tool. I don't care. So DRP, they make the bearing spacers, and they make this freaking awesome bearing spacer hub installation tool. I love it. It's so nice.
Check the tire tread.
Yeah, mainly. Yeah, works out great. Oh, and when we grease our bearings up, we're not going to just sit there and pack them in like we would on our, 1978 4x4 Cheyenne Chevy pickup. We're just going to give them a light coat and always keep an eye on them.
Very specific.
I pictured myself doing that on that truck. Is that bad? I want one. Anybody got a square body? Had to capture it. We done the right side. I swear, if you can see that or not, already at 0. So that one, by hand, was done on the money. You ain't getting that every time. Oh, by the way, remember the JR1 deal for the rear bearings? That one. Got her set up for the front. They make them for the front too. That's freaking cool. Get your bearing spacer on there, your other bearing, even got a spot. I'm just using it for the old bearings there, but get her done. Okay, got the bearings all jacked up. And gotta give a shout out to Maxima. Big supporters of the channel. Use a lot of their lubricants and their oils and the grease. So this is one of the occasions right now where we're glad to have them. And glad to use this waterproof grease that don't even stink. A lot of their stuff they make smell really awesome. Like, for instance, the, what is that? The assembly lube smells like Red Hots. And the SC one smells like, I don't know, what's it smell like?
Bubblegum counter?
Yeah, something like that. Really good. Speed wax smells good. But anyway, big shout out to Maxima. Big part of the channel, and we appreciate them. We interrupt this video for another Gateway Dome Nationals sponsor spotlight. Josh Dunn over at Route 66 Truss was kind enough to partner with us this year for the Dome, and we've already made a pretty good friendship. So I want to tell you a little bit about what Josh does over at Route 66 Truss. Route 66 Truss builds structural components, and that's a fancy phrase for trusses, for agricultural, residential, and commercial buildings all over the Midwest. Last year they started shipping long distances. And I've seen a lot of stuff that they've got going down to Florida for some super custom homes. Even down to Mexico Beach, Marco Island, Florida's West Coast, over to Daytona Beach. And they're set to start shipping to Colorado and Wyoming at the beginning of the year. So their business is really expanding, and we're going to do everything we can here to make everyone aware of Route 66 Truss. Josh himself spent his career as a framer, as well as his other designer was also a framer. So they take the approach that has the framer and the end user in mind. And they provide trusses to the exact specifications that their customers require, and they demand the highest quality of their product. So that means a lot. Built right here in the USA with super strict standards on quality and the end user in mind. Josh always says it's just a truss, but he wants his to look sexy. So we really appreciate them teaming up with us. Check out Route 66 Truss. They've got an active Facebook page. They post a lot of cool stuff there. So go check that out. I'll drop everything else down in the description below. Josh, we really appreciate you. Can't wait to meet you at the Gateway Dirt Nationals. Guys, we really appreciate you. Now let's get back to the video and get back on this car. Okay, moving on to the right front here. Got all of our hubs and stuff installed. We're doing some loads because we had all this apart. So we got to reload the front suspension. Now, Chad makes that easy over at Wehrs Machine. Got a ratcheting load stick. Stick it on the shock mounts. And I won't go too in depth on how to do loads on stuff today, but we're going to put it right back to where we found it, and we're going to be able to do that with Chad's load machine. And real quick, right here by Nathan, if you got one of these and you don't have the hard case, you're missing out. I about had the cardboard box wore out, so he does make a hard case for it now. Was it 19 3/16? Let her down, B. Right there, that's it. Another cool thing that Chad is a part of is the Circle Track app. If you guys want to look into that, I highly recommend it. So once this loads up, I don't have much service in here. But you put your team in here and you put all your adjustments, your loads, everything you got right into this Circle Track app. And once you pick that, it's going to load up all your info, and we've got in several different setups. So this is your setup book, is what I'm trying to tell you. See, race day notes, setup book, trackside tuning, team management. We're going to go to setup book, and we're going to go, I've even got Chase's go-kart in here. So we're going to go Gen 1 or Gen 4. We're going to go to loads. Well, we got our list, which was completely full, down to, 2 days ago, down to what Nathan said, pretty much just the body. A couple of setup things there. You got to set the toe, caster, camber, and everything on the front. Stocking me up, bud?
Yeah.
Surprised you can get into that thing.
Yeah, I'll get in there.
There's a little bit of stuff in the way. Anyway, so front end, we'll finish that up. We got to have it on the Hammond plates to get the caster, camber, and everything, and then we'll set the toe. We can set it off the ground. It's kind of nice to do that like that, but cracking cold ones. Well, guys, you see the battery died there, so that's going to end the episode for today. We've got a whole bunch done. We're down to almost just the body, as I said. So next video, we're going to start putting the body together, show you some of these really cool stacked panels, and this bad to the freaking bone Ken Block tribute wrap for the Gateway Dirt Nationals. Now don't forget, right now at shopoldnumber7garage.com, we're running a Black Friday sale. Everything I got is 30% off. So grab that stuff right now to make it in time for Santa Claus to put it under the tree. You guys, we appreciate you. I got to get back to work on this thing, so we'll see you on the next one.